Today we actually got a surprise update from Infinity Ward for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and today I decided to hop on. What you guys are watching right now is my first gameplay of the day. I didn't really have too much time to do anything else because I have a lot of stuff I have to do, but I wanted to cover this today because you guys know how I feel about the M4 and the MP5 being nerfed. You know, I thought they should just be the same, but I wanted to cover it. So today I went through all the weapons that got adjusted in today's update. Now first off, the MP5 got reduced headshot multiplier and a small reduction to the 10mm range. And as you guys know, I always use the 10mm for my MP5, so this is going to affect me. But I'm going to talk about it a little bit later and how the gun actually plays. Then same thing for the M4, small damage decrease to reduce headshot effectiveness and small range decrease. And then for the M13, it actually caught a buff. Now I'm actually very excited about this, and I can't wait to talk about the M13 with you guys. But the M13 got a range increase, small reduction to horizontal recoil, and small damage increased to boost headshot effectiveness. Beautiful, just beautiful. But let's get into the other things with this update as well, because they did some things that pissed me off a bit. Really everything else, they just decided to, fix a few more bugs, some more patches, and things that are wrong with the game. But the biggest thing that I see here, because I think it's a very small update, let me just say that now. It's a very small update. They just fixed a few bugs here and there, nothing too big, and they did some weapon adjustments. But the main thing that I'm so annoyed with here is they did another playlist update. I do not know who is in charge of doing playlist updates or who thought this was an outstanding idea. But I can't stand it. I cannot stand them changing Shipment and Shoot House every single, other week. Why? They're both good maps. If you can't make up your mind, just put them both in the game. Put a Shoot House 24/7 and put a Shipment 24/7 and just let the people play what they want. But stop stripping stuff, because I'm not a big fan of Shipment. I like Shoot House. Now I don't have a choice, because before it was a mosh pit of both Shoot House and Shipment. Now they just stripped Shoot House. Why? Why would you strip Shoot House out of the mix? They're both small-sized maps. They're both made for close-quarter combat. I don't know why they keep changing it, but now it's back to Shipment 24/7. Woohoo! Back to crap spawns every single day. And they also, I didn't get gameplay for you guys for this because I tried it out and it was stupid. They said they fixed the spawns. Apparently, they fixed the spawns on Shipment, so you don't get spawn trapped and you don't get insta-killed every 5 seconds. Which is a lie. They lie once again, like they always do in every single update. They say they fixed something. It is not fixed. The spawns are just as bad as they always are. Now I didn't play that much because, like I said, I'm very busy today, so I just wanted to go ahead and play a few matches. So I got into 2 TDM matches and 1 kill confirmed, and they were all just a mess. It's nothing different from how they played before the quote-unquote spawn update to fix all the spawn traps. Nothing changed. The spawns are still the same. I still have people spawning literally directly on me, so I can just shoot them in the back of the head like a 0.01 seconds while they spawn into the actual match. It's still broken. It's no way to fix it. Infinity Ward, if you want to fix the spawns of Shipment, don't change Shipment like a bunch of idiots and flip it back to how it was. Why did you guys twist it? That makes no sense. It's like World War II, honestly, even though I give World War II a bunch of crap, they did Shipment perfectly. Played perfect. It was still a fast-paced map, but the spawns were not broken. You could still maintain one side of the map if your team was good enough. In this game, I could join a game of Shipment right now with a party of 3 or 4, and we will not be able to manage the spawns. If you don't, let's say for domination, if you don't capture the B flag, you're screwed. You have to capture B, or else you'll be spawn trapped for the remainder of the map. It's pointless. The spawns are broken. If you want to fix the spawns, Infinity Ward, flip the map back to regular. That's all you have to do to fix that issue. The map is broken. You guys intentionally broke it. I don't know who playtested Shipment and said, yeah, that was a good idea, but it's not. The only way you can fix those spawns is if you just bring back the regular Shipment. Whatever you guys did by twisting the crates around, basically, like I said, they picked up the map, flipped it like 90 degrees, and slapped it right back down. That's basically what they did with the crates and the different locations. It's bad. It's really bad. They need to flip it back to regular. Alright, now let's talk about the weapons. because this is probably the most important part of this commentary, and this is probably the thing that I was most excited to talk about in today's video. Now, the MP5, M4, and M13 were all messed with. Now, I don't know why they didn't mess with any other weapons. Now, if this was me, I would not have touched the MP5 or the M4. I would have done the same thing that they did with the M13 and buff all the other ARs as well. Even buff some of the submachine guns, even though I think submachine guns are pretty good across the board. Guns like the MP7, I wish it had more damage. It's just such a pea shooter compared to the MP5. And people don't like the reload animation of the MP5. I'll tell you how to fix it right now. Just use sleight of hand. If you use sleight of hand, you never have to go through that massively long, pointless reload animation. I don't know why they made it like that, but you don't have to do that, and it's a quick reload. I suggest using any of the submachine gun, the Bison, the MP5, all of them over the MP7. The MP7 is good. It's a laser beam. It shoots all of the shots on mark, but it shoots so many Ps. It's so annoying at times. I would like to see other guns with the buff, like the MP7, like I just said, or the AK, or the Odin. Weapons, not like buffs with damage for certain weapons, but buffs with how the recoil patterns are, the type of range they have. It's a lot of things that they could do to make all the weapons viable in this game. But their only intentions, as they always are to just nerf the MP5 and the M4. That's all Infinity Ward wants to do. That's all they're obsessed with. I don't know why they want these guns nerfed into the dirt. I understand they're overpowered, but all the weapons, quote-unquote, should be overpowered. They should all be fun to use. They should all be playable. The reason the MP5 and the M4 are, quote-unquote, overpowered is because they're the most fun guns to use. Damage-wise, I guess the MP5 does have a little bit more damage than the other SMGs, but it just feels better. The range on it, it's good. It's a consistent weapon. The recoil pattern is manageable. It's a good weapon. It's good overall. If all the other weapons had good recoil patterns, you know, they were good to manage on range and close range, and you didn't have to pack them with attachments that come with like a bunch of negatives as well. You could just have the base weapon and it works good if only all the weapons work like that. But they don't. So that's why the MP5 stands out from the rest of the SMGs. Same thing with the M4. It's just an all-around good weapon. It's not like it's the most overpowered thing that we've ever seen to date. It just has a fast fire rate, good damage, and amazing range. All the other assault rifles have great damage, amazing range, but the recoils are completely off, and the fire rate is bad. The M4 just dominates the rest of the ARs. So, but what they did here today is they nerfed the M4 and MP5. I'll say it one more time. The MP5 got reduced headshot multiplier and a small reduction to 10 mil range. Personally, I don't notice a thing. Such a waste of time. The MP5 is still, to me personally, the same. Like I said, I hopped in Ground War here because I thought Ground War would be the best spot to try out these weapons. If I were to go into 6v6 or Shipment or something like that, how can I test range? So I'm testing range out on Ground War, pretty big maps here, and I'll tell you this, the MP5 melts just like it did before. I'm still having tons of fun with it, and it's still going to be my main SMG that I use in this game. They did nothing to make me want to try out any other SMG, and they failed. You want to know how you can get me to try out other SMGs, Infinity Ward? Make them good. No matter how many nerfs you do to this MP5, it's just a good feeling weapon. It feels good. That's why people use it. Make the other SMGs feel good. Oh, so incompetent. And then we go on to the M4. Small damage decrease to reduce headshot effectiveness and small range decrease. Once again, I'm going to say it here. Did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. The M4 is probably still one of the most overpowered weapons in this game. Still fast fire rate, still good damage, still good range. I don't think they understand that the reason the M4 stands out is because guns like the AK and the Odin are just insane kicking machines. The recoil on these weapons are absurd. They're stupid. So when it comes up to a person with the M4 who has no recoil, you're at a disadvantage. Now, if you're a very good player and you can control the recoil of the AK or the Odin, then you could probably land some good shots on the M4 player, and you can win the gunfight. But it's like a flip of a coin. It's all luck when you go against the M4 user, because the M4 is just, it's a melt machine because of the fast fire rate and low recoil. You could keep nerfing the damage as much as you want. It doesn't matter. As long as it has no recoil and a fast fire rate, I could land more shots with the M4 without missing them than I can with the AK or Odin combined. Which is why the M4, no matter how much you reduce the damage of this weapon, it's going to be viable. That's what people gravitate towards when they play video games. Guns that have no recoil and guns that have high fire rates. Even if the damage is so low, the high fire rate and no recoil makes up for it. So there's no reason to even avoid the M4 in this specific occasion. It's just a god tier weapon. It packs an absolute punch, fast fire rate. I'm going to say it here, they messed up. Infinity Ward once again messes up. They could have done so much more with this update. They could have actually made other guns viable, but instead, with their incompetent selves, they said, okay, let's just nerf the same weapons that we keep nerfing over and over again for the 50th time. Because that's going to fix the meta of this game, nerfing the guns that are amazing. And like I keep saying, these guns are amazing because they feel good. MP5, fast fire rate, low recoil. M4, fast fire rate, low recoil. You can take as much damage as you want from these weapons, Infinity Ward, but it's not going to make up for the fact that they are like mini drills, mini guns that have no recoil. The AK, it might take like 1 to 2 shots to kill people, damage is insanely high, but you have to manage the recoil, and you can't manage that recoil at long range. With the M4, I can snipe someone across the map full autoing. And if I'm using an AK, I have to tap fire. Who do you think is going to win? The person who has to take their time tap firing, or the person who could just spray me across the map? It's that simple, Infinity Ward. It's not rocket science. But then they go ahead and do something positive here. The M13. Now, I don't know how long I've been talking. This is a full ground war clip, so I might just skip over to the M13 portion of the gameplay on this video, because like I said, I tried out all the weapons in this one gameplay just to see how they all feel, and they nailed it. The M13 is finally viable again. This is in my top tier list now. My favorite ARs used to be the M4, the Ram, and the Kilo. The M13 has finally found its way in there to add to the addition of good ARs in this game. I'm so happy because the M13 was good to me. I thought the M13 was probably one of the best assault rifles in the beginning until I noticed how inconsistent it actually was. But in this update, they increased the range. Small reduction to horizontal recoil, which they say small, but it is very noticeable. Trust me, I definitely noticed that they reduced the horizontal recoil on this weapon. And then they also did a small damage increase to boost headshot effectiveness. Now, I don't know if it's just for headshots, but for me personally, it feels like I can still drill people in the chest or the stomach at long range, and it melts now. Now, this right here, this is what they're supposed to be doing. This is exactly what's supposed to happen. They're supposed to buff the other weapons. They're supposed to make them usable. So when you see a list of options between the M4 and all the other assault rifles, you know that other assault rifles are good. You don't always gravitate over to the M4 every single time you see it. Now the M13 is viable. Now the Ram is viable. Now the Kilo is viable. It's variety. In a game that keeps pushing how much variety they have, it's crazy how little variety there actually is once the community gets their hands on the game. But now they're slowly but surely getting things straight. But if I see another M4 or MP5 nerf, I swear to God, Infinity Ward, you guys, that takes the cake. I don't like being mean sometimes, because sometimes I like to rage a lot. But Jesus Christ, if you nerf the M4 or MP5 again, you guys go down in history as the most incompetent development studio in history. I don't even develop video games, and I know that nerfing the MP5 and M4 isn't going to help anything. It's just simply not. What you did to the M13 today was amazing. You now made an assault rifle that was basically non-usable against any rifle like the M4 or the Ram into something that can actually compete. A weapon that is viable on the battlefield. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, if they didn't nerf the MP5 and M4 and instead decided to buff the M13, the AK, the Odin, buff some of the submachines like the MP7, maybe the Bison with less recoil, if they decided to do that instead of nerfing the MP5 and M4, they would be getting so much credit in this video right now. I would be praising them at this point because this is huge. This is huge, having more weapons to use besides just one. I enjoy this. I like having variety in my video games. In Black Ops 4, I could use almost all the weapons. I enjoyed it. Modern Warfare, on the other case, you just can't. So it's nice having a little bit more variety in the mix. And being able to use the M13 is awesome in my personal opinion. Overall, once again, it's a pointless update. They just continuously change the playlists like they always do to completely ruin it. They added in a gunfight custom, which is gunfights where you can, use your custom classes, which sounds pretty awesome. I might give that a go because gunfight is a fun game mode. They added in deathmatch, domination, stuff like that. They removed winter docks, and they moved capture the flag into the quick play filter, which I'm happy about because capture the flag is probably one of my go-to game modes when I'm playing with with a good squad, about maybe 3 to 4 players. Capture the flag is fun, especially since you don't have to rely on getting so many kills. And if you're an OBJ player like me, it's very easy to play that game mode over a game mode like Hardpoint, because if your whole team doesn't go for the Hardpoint, or if your whole team doesn't go for the HQ, you're going to lose. And I don't like losing. I like winning, no matter what. Even if it affects my KD, I like to win. So, Capture the Flag is just one of those game modes where, as a solo player, even with the squad, it's very easy to catch some dubs on that. So I'm happy they're keeping Capture the Flag. But for the rest of the update, they just, oh man, I don't know. Like I said, it's a small update. But why the MP5 and the M4? Why did you have to focus and zone in on those two weapons? It doesn't add up to me. They should have worried about more of the assault rifles. They should have worried about more of the SMGs. And they need to try to make all the guns viable in Modern Warfare. But guys, let me know your comments down below. Be sure to leave your opinions on if you guys think the M4 or MP5 got nerfed good enough. Did you guys try out the update yet? Do you even see a difference? Like I said, me personally, I see a tiny difference in the M4 and MP5, but they're still amazing. They're still going to be my go-to weapons when I get into a sweat fest in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like. If you hated it, you can always dislike it. If you're brand new to this channel and you enjoyed what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. If you want to chat with me or see some behind the scenes clips, you can follow me over on Twitter at JbowenDaMan. And also, if you want to catch me live streaming, I do that over on Twitch at JbowenDaMan as well. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.
We have 2 objectives. Take the third.